Hello once again everyone, and welcome back to getting more out of Angelo's broadsword. Now, today we're going to take a slight departure from what we were working on. We're going to put the new lessons down for a second, and we're going to kind of bring all of what we've been working on together. This is a fun little drill that I've been having my guys do, including Jason here, and what this is I call it the 7 game, because it's just going to be pretty much us trading 7s back and forth. Now the reason that we're doing this is because so far, everything that we have covered stems from 7s being thrown back and forth at the head, right? So 7, 7, 7, but there's always the defender who at any point can move into one of his other combinations which he has learned, and there's the antagonist who may use a couple of the lessons against the defender. Now, for the most part, this isn't going to be a terribly complicated game, and it's really to be thought of more like an exercise as opposed to anything competitive. You should do this at a low pace, as doing prolonged 7 cuts and St. George's back and forth will wear you down quite quickly. So you want to be relatively light. Your cuts are still directed, but I am not going to be putting everything in on these cuts. But let's go ahead and go through it. So step back a little bit. There we go. So what will happen is we both take St. George, and the defender will cut first. We're both just shifting as we normally would as we exchange St. George's. This is a good time to be focusing on how your partner's St. George is being if you're in a teacher role. So right now, Jason's doing a great job about keeping his St. George out to the side. Now, at any point, Jason as the defender, the one who attacked first, may cut from my leg. So this is his first option. If he cuts from my leg, it's going to be just like the first lesson. He's going to cut, and then he's going to shift back in defending his head because I'm going to keep throwing 7s. So what that would look like, we'll go ahead and start. So 7, 7, 7, 7, leg, 7, 7. And that does not interrupt the pattern at all. Nothing really changes on either of our parts. The only thing that is going to change is over time, I will get a sense for when Jason might be trying to cut my leg. And this is the important thing. Don't make this a knee-jerk response. My first option in the game is if I just know in my heart of hearts that Jason is going to cut from my leg, then I can use the one-time counter. So what that would look like, we're going back and forth. He's cutting my leg at one point or another. Okay? I have the measure of him now. So the next time I get the opportunity, I just go ahead and do the one-time, chop him in the head, no big deal. Now, of course, as we already talked about, if Jason were intent upon doing that number, he very well may catch it. And if he catches me on that, odds are I'm probably just going to go ahead and lose, so that would be a reset section. But, moving on into his next option. The next option is Jason may now stay down twice, which is the same as it was in the second lesson, so showing that. We're trading back and forth. At any point, he may cut from my leg. He remains. Then he shifts back, and we're just back to doing 7s. Now, I need to make sure that I'm not trying to guess this. That's why I'm keeping my St. George as consistent as I can. Because if I jump into the one-time counter and he catches it, that's going to be really bad for me. If I'm not expecting that second leg cut and I cover without shifting back, my leg goes away. So he can cut once or twice. However, if he cuts from my leg twice and successfully escapes, then he may fire for my ribs with a 6 cut. So that would be into lesson 3. So here's what that looks like. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Leg, down. Outside half hanger, back into St. George. Now, he forgot to lunge when he went for my ribs, and that'll happen. That's okay though. But the important thing is, when he goes for my ribs here, I'm shifting back to cover, and then immediately following this, I'm going to pull my tip back up and execute a responding 7 to make sure that he's snapping back into St. George, and to get myself in the habit of being able to execute cuts out of here. So let's see that again. 7, 7, 7, 7. Leg, down. Outside, boom. No problem. Just back and forth pretty much. Now, my final option that I can do at this point with what we've worked on is that I don't have to only riposte to the head. This is especially good if I get a sense for Jason is kind of always doing the 2 stay down, then I may instead riposte at the leg. What that'll look like is if we just do an exchange of sevens, right? So we're just going 7, 7, 7. He goes to my leg at some point, I go for his leg. And we can do that ad nauseum, right? Anytime he cuts my leg, I may riposte back at his leg. I just need to be certain that following it, I'm coming back. This is very good if he's someone who gets a little bit stuck, lunging then staying down, and he's doing that too many times. Fire at the leg, and that will make it so that way he remembers to be able to shift back. But now, we're just going to quickly go through it for a few beats. All the options are on the table. Jason is the defender. I am the antagonist. And here's how this game looks. You messed up your shift. Try again. Aha! And that's the idea, is that it's nice and relaxed and it's just a thinky game. But, very good. And that's the way I like to take what we've worked on so far, i.e. the first 4 lessons, and put them together into one drill. As we continue on, we will be adding more responses to this drill. But for now, if you've been following along with the series and you're practicing this yourself, I don't think anyone actually is, but in case you are, this would be the time I start recommending you use this game to remember everything that you went over. And it's very relaxed, very good for warming up. And next time, we will be going over lesson 5, which kind of throws everything we were just working on over to the side for a moment and introduces something new. So we will go over that another time.